Chapter 1: An Ideal Vision. Creation begins with imagination. Scott Noel. What do you really want? How many times have you asked yourself that question and come up with an answer? For most people, this is not a question to even entertain, much less an answer they have given any serious consideration. Believing in what's possible rather than in what you're observing is the first place to start. What beliefs do you hold about the world? What are the reasons you believe as you do? Your beliefs are ready to step in and hold you back from setting goals, stopping you in your tracks before you even begin. Like all energy, which is in a constant state of change, so are our beliefs. They can and must be changed to serve you as you move forward in this new direction. You are connected to an infinite source of supply. You can create anything in physical form that you can dream of in your mind. In fact, the creative process begins when you first have the thought, summoning source into action to fulfill on it for you. At birth, children are programmed to dream, to fantasize about what their world might become. Their natural inclination is for fantasy, and when they dream, they are convinced their dreams will become reality. They have not yet been influenced by the outside world, by people who tell them to stop dreaming and get with the program. That is, until they are subjected to the views of the adults they look to for guidance. Before long, they're told to stop dreaming and focus on school. And when their fantasy world is suppressed, it becomes less and less available for their daily use. Did this ever happen to you? The problem with teaching kids to stop fantasizing is that fantasy is the first step to freedom. So suppressing this practice inadvertently limits freedom and perpetuates a lie that has been passed down from one generation to the next. A vast majority of adults had their fantasy world cut short as school-aged children, and so they never learned to trust their inherent goodness and connection to their source. Now is the time to re-engage your fantastic abilities and start to dream. Keep asking yourself the question, what do I really want? And keep in mind, your infinite source does not care how big or how small your desires are. It will do its part to give you exactly what you are asking for. Dig in deep. You can take yourself way back to when you were a child. What did you dream about being when you grew up that perhaps got thwarted? What's on your bucket list that you're still waiting to do someday? How about all of the things you've come up with that will make the world a better place? What about the genius ideas you've jotted down on a napkin along the way? Have you recorded the album you've been thinking about? What about the book you've always wanted to write? Do you live in your dream home? Where and when do you go on vacation? How do you get there? It is very important to ask that question from the place of the thing you want rather than from the position you are in. From where you are, your view is very limited, but when looked at from your fantasy, you can tap into the infinite and bring forth your burning desires. It is from this place that your vision of the future will help you find your way to your dreams. Leveling the playing field. When setting goals or creating visions of your dream life, there are different levels of goals that you can set. Level 1 goals are things that you already know how to do or have. Level 2 goals are things that you think you can do, and that follow in logical order from where you are. Level 3 goals are from your fantasies, big goals that energize and scare you at the same time. A level 3 goal is what you want to focus on, and what will both inspire you and cause big growth. Let's say you want to buy a new home. You have your eyes set on a new townhouse in the central part of your city. You currently own a townhouse about a mile away that you have had for about 5 years, since it was built. The townhouse you want to buy is new construction, and you really like living in a newly built place. You've set a goal to sell your current home and buy the new place in the next 3 months. The new place is really great, and your current place is very desirable for someone who wants to buy a gently used home. The goal you have set is a level 1 goal because you already know how to do it, and there is no growth involved. You have already experienced a new townhouse and have lived in it for 5 years. This is not to say you should not get the new home, just that it does not constitute an ideal vision type goal. Consider another example. You have been working at the same job as a computer programmer for about 3 years, and you have decided it is time for a change. You have updated your resume and set a goal of getting a job earning about 20% more at a different company. In your field, this is not unheard of. In fact, it is expected that you move up the ranks from business to business. While on first look, a 20% jump in compensation seems large, it is actually the next logical step for you and would constitute a level 2 goal. It seems like a stretch, but it is not very inspiring. You will probably get bored there and long for something much bigger within another 3 years. Being that a level 3 goal is enormously powerful, how do you know what constitutes this type of goal? To start, it must fulfill your burning desire. It is only with that level of desire that there is any hope for following through and actually achieving it. It is also something you have never done before, a place you have never been. It will be scary, exciting, and heart-pumping. The truth is that if you know how to do it, it's not a worthy goal. Planting the seeds of thought. The creative process begins with an idea, a thought in the imagination. Everything that now exists was first a thought, a fantasy outside the realm of what you already know to exist. As the fantasy is entertained, dreamed about, written down, and repeated over and over, you ask the question, am I able to accomplish this? Considering that you are a manifestation of infinite energy with infinite potential, there is really no question of whether or not you're able. But you've got to be willing to do whatever it takes to manifest your fantasy in physical form. With belief, your fantasy turns into a goal, and through repetition, you get emotionally involved. You turn it over to the subconscious mind, and the perpetual transmutation of energy goes to work, causing your idea energy to become physical energy. When you believe it, your actions change, and your goal becomes a fact, completing the creative cycle. Here are the 7 steps of the creative cycle at a glance. It starts as an idea, a fantasy in the imagination. Then you keep dreaming about it. You write it down. Next, you ask yourself, am I willing? After that, belief turns fantasy into a goal. Next, repetition has you fall in love with it. Following that, your subconscious mind takes over. And finally, your actions change and it becomes a fact. Every step of the way, outside influences will try to steer you off course. You've got to close yourself off to them and refuse to let any external circumstances or conditions have any say. Let nothing stop you, and let your own desire be your guide. As you are considering your big goal, set aside consideration for how much it will cost or where the money will come from. Give no consideration whatsoever to how you are going to do it, but instead focus on what stirs your heart. Passion should lead the way. You are setting in motion a command to the universe, and by law, if you keep the picture of it in your mind and step in its direction, it must be brought into physical form. There are a number of very effective ways to set goals, and for every one of them, the key is to be extremely specific. Source responds to definite desires, backed by belief and action. If you have a goal for any manner of abundance in your life, think about exactly what it is that you desire to have or to be. Always frame it in positive words and positive outcomes. Tap into the feeling of what it is like to already have it and believe it is inevitable. Choose your words carefully. For example, using verbs in their active, gerund, or ing form will have you experiencing whatever it is more easily, since they are all about movement. I am and I have are some of the most powerful words available to us. Saying I want will give you the experience of wanting, not the experience of having or being. Also, skip how you will do it altogether, as this will only distract you from your goal. Mike Dooley coined the term the cursed hows for exactly this reason. Simply rest assured you are ready to jump right in and are able to achieve your goal. As an example, if you have a goal of earning more money and eliminating debt, determine exactly how much you desire to have. More money can come to you as a nickel in the street or as earning $1 million per month for the phenomenal service you provide. Even the mention of debt will have you experiencing debt. A very effective way to think about it is to determine how much you desire to pay off, and beyond any income goals, talk about attracting an extra X dollars into your life. Write a list of all your wants and desires for each area of your life. Work, home, community. Go over it, and from that big list, narrow it down to the one that you really want, the one that totally stirs your heart and soul. It is also important to make sure that the desires from different areas of your life are in harmony with each other. After you have identified your number one goal, write it out in present tense in the following format. I am so happy and grateful now that my big dream is manifested into physical form. Create a card to carry around with you all the time, a goal card. On it, write out your goal clearly and concisely so that a stranger reading it will get the same mental picture you have in your mind. Not sure how to make a goal card? You can go to jaybillig.com right now and download your very own goal card for free. Here are some examples of powerful goal statements that you can use for inspiration when creating your own. I am so happy and grateful now that I have a continual supply of effective leads and an exponentially increasing list of well-served clients who recommend me to their colleagues and friends. I am having fun and effortlessly earning $10,000 or more per week. I am so happy and grateful now that I am in leadership for a nonprofit organization whose mission is to educate women and girls worldwide, empowering them to be leaders and change makers in their communities. I am so happy and grateful now that I am sharing my life with a partner I love deeply and adore, and who deeply loves and adores me. I am so happy and grateful now that I have harmonious, mutually respectful, and loving interactions with my children and extended family. I am so happy and grateful now that I'm an international best-selling author, effectively communicating with millions of people all over the world. I am so happy and grateful now that I am easily earning $1 million or more per month, being of exceptional service to humanity and for the mutual benefit of all involved. I am so happy and grateful now that I am part of a team of people harmoniously creating new homes for tens of thousands of people across the continent. I am so happy and grateful now that I have my own salon where we are serving hundreds of satisfied clients every month and where we are booked up for months in advance. I am easily earning in a month what I used to earn in a year, and I'm having so much fun doing it. I am so happy and grateful now that I have a beautiful home with a separate bedroom for each of our children, a guest room, 3 or more bathrooms, and a master suite on the main level. I love cooking and eating together in the large open kitchen and family room, as we spend time celebrating each other's lives, all with a canopy of gorgeous shade trees and a hammock for resting and relaxing. Once you have your goal card, carry it around with you always and read it several times every day. Share it with people who will support you and your vision for yourself. As a note of caution, there will most likely be people in your life who do not share your dream of transformation or what you want to create. If you don't get full support, just let it go with them and surround yourself with people who are supportive. From your list of wants and desires, you can also create a vision board or dream board. This is a very helpful tool because we think in pictures. For each area of your life, take the top 1 or 2 desires and create a visual representation of them on your vision board. Searching online for pictures is easy and fun, and it allows you to imprint images in your mind that you will eventually make your reality. Print out the images you like and put them together on a piece of poster board, which we will place in the location where you see it many times each day. Similarly, put pictures of what you want as your screensaver for your desktop, laptop, tablet, and phone. Having it as a constant reminder will instill the belief of it into the subconscious mind. Think about your goal several times every day and picture yourself already having it. This brings you and your vision closer together into the same vibration. You must really want it, picture it, and think about it, as what you ruminate on most will come into physical form. You might be one of the few people who already has an ideal vision for your life, and if so, that's great. You can still use some of the tools here to help you up the ante. And if you're not one of those people, there's no time like the present to take a step forward and create goals. Focusing on an ideal vision will help to guide you in the direction of your ultimate goals. You'll begin to see differences in your life that are the results of your newly founded habits and actions. This starts by identifying goals in all areas of your life and focusing on the one you would most like to manifest. Use your goal card to embed the goal in your subconscious and think as if the goal has already been met. Only then will you create a shift and begin the process of manifesting the life of your dreams. This first chapter has laid the foundation for living your best life. A large part of doing that involves understanding that our thoughts shape our reality. Thoughts occur in our conscious mind and when taken in, become embedded in our subconscious mind. Some of these thoughts become habitual and produce the paradigms that rule our lives. It is important that these paradigms support our goals, for if not, they will stop progress. We will explore how to align these paradigms in the next chapter.